Hello and welcome, all friends and devotees of yoga and Buddhism. Today is June the 26th, 2019, Wednesday, June the 26th, 2019. I'm just going to proceed with some fantastic treasures of wisdom I discovered a few months ago. These are profound masterpieces, nearly 400 of them. It's a whole system, nearly 400 masterpieces of wisdom I found in a collection from the Venerable Master Singyun. For those who are sort of new to these classes, Venerable Master Singyun is the founder of Fo Guangsheng. Fo Guangsheng is an extraordinarily mighty foundation, Chinese Buddhist foundation, responsible for building several universities all over the world, like University of the West, Rosemead, California. I've been there. Silai Temple, one of the biggest temples in North America. I've been there in Los Angeles, California, Hacienda. And of course, he's also historically the founder of Buddhism in Africa through the Nanhua Buddhist Foundation, which he established in Bronkhorstspruit, Johannesburg, South Africa, and the African Buddhist Seminary over there, also teaching Africans Buddhist wisdom and discipline. I'm just going to read to you some of the wisdom in this collection I discovered. What people wish for and seek in their lives varies. They may wish for money, material possessions, fame, fortune, love, human connections, or trust. But how do we properly gain what we seek? The following are some approaches to gaining some things in life. 1. Write this down, guys. Let your pens and your papers be working. Put your biros to work right now. Reading allows us to gain knowledge. I call this the golden keys from the great master, Buddhist master, Venerable Singyun. Reading allows us to gain knowledge. The ancients said, one is never too old to learn. We cannot possibly learn all the knowledge in the world in one lifetime. Therefore, we must read every day in order to gain more knowledge. Reading allows us to understand the truth and prepare for the future. Books are sources of wisdom, the catalyst behind human progress. Literary treasures for knowing the past and making sense of the present, and vehicles for understanding the standards of behavior in dealing with people and situations. We can enhance our abilities through books because they give us knowledge. Knowledge is power. Remember that saying? 2. Work allows us to gain experience. In order to succeed, we must not be afraid of difficulties or failure. Dr. Sun Yat-sen's career as a revolutionary met with no success during the first 10 tries. It was only with the 11th try that he was able to overthrow the decaying dynasty. If we have perseverance in everything we do, we can gain much experience through work. Experiences can be obtained through either failure or success. In failure, we can gain from introspection and improvement. While in success, we can gain from better planning and organization. Therefore, whether it is through success or failure, we can always gain precious experience and skill as long as we work hard. 3. Human connections allow us to gain expediency. When we develop human connections, we gain good relationships with people. There are people who meet obstacles at every step of the way, whereas others find smooth sailing everywhere they go. They are welcomed by everyone they come across. The difference lies in making connections. In our everyday life, a warm smile, a word of praise, a simple act of service, or sincere caring expression for others can bring people much joy, thus promoting harmony in human relationships. It is also the beginning of making a connection with others. When we have positive connections, we are actually gaining expediency and ease in whatever we do. With good human relationships, we will be able to complete our goals much more easily. The Dharma allows us to gain joy. When the Buddha spoke the Dharma, his intention was to explain its meaning so as to bring us happiness. In other words, the purpose of the Buddha's teachings is to give sentient beings joy. Because the world is filled with suffering due to old age, sickness, death, inequalities between classes, and the conflicts between self and others, the Buddha sought solutions for sentient beings to get rid of suffering and gain joy. He first traced the roots of our suffering. The Buddha first traced the roots of our suffering to our greed, anger, and delusion, and then taught us the way to eliminate them so that we could realize our true nature. Through the guidance of his teaching, we can find direction for settling our mind and life and gain joy through the Dharma. Okay, now in summary, Master Singyun is going to summarize this for us, just like the Buddha does in the Dhammapada, where he summarizes all his sutras. Of course, I've translated the Dhammapada, which practically became the first piece of Buddhist literature to be translated into African language. I did translate the Dhammapada over a decade ago into Asan language. And also did a retranslation in English. So we have Dhammapada, which I've published in Chinese, English, and Asan language. It's on Google. Just Google there if you want to read a copy of it. Oseo Dion Aburime Dhammapada. You should find that Dhammapada in Chinese, English, and Asan languages. In summary, Master Singyun writes this. Of course, Master Singyun authored well over 100 books, just like the Dalai Lama. They are highly authored. So in Buddhism, we learn to write a lot of good books to teach our instructions. If you've developed enough knowledge to be able to teach, you want to really write a lot of good books to be able to give good instructions to students. So here is the summary of this brief lecture from the Venerable Master Singyun. We should start reading at a young age. And we should also learn how to read people, events, and our physical environment. Even more importantly, we must know how to get along well with people because this will benefit us in our work and career. In reality, studying and working are both necessary for living a stable and peaceful life. However, it takes cultivation and realization of the Dharma to raise our spirituality to higher levels. Folks, these are just wonderful piece of wisdom. Can you imagine nearly 400 masterpieces like this? Can you just imagine it? There are nearly 400. There are 380 masterpieces of wisdom just like this. 270 fundamental answers to any questions you have in life. And then another 110 of them are like prayerful reflection. When you want to reflect prayerfully upon the Buddha image, you want to pray, you want to express your thanksgiving, your mind to the Buddha prayerfully, with honor, with reverence. And then we have another 110 fantastic masterpieces from the Venerable Master Singyun. And then, of course, as I told you earlier, 270 of them. That's 270 plus 110. That's 380, nearly 400 in this fantastic repository of wisdom, which I discovered. And I'm just in the process of teaching it. So once you go to YouTube, or Google, you type my name, it should show you these teachings. There are hundreds of them. You'll be able to pick up at least 100 from me. I'm trying to work on the first 100 right now, publish the first 100 of these pieces, masterpieces of wisdom for your advancement in knowledge, your advancement in progress as you walk through life. Namo Amitofo.